Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Game of Two Halves podcast. Today we are reacting to game weeks 4, 5, and 6. We've been off air for Ganesh Chaturthi, so happy Ganesh to everyone who celebrated it. Happy Ganesh to you, Vijay. How was it?
Thank you. Good. Yeah, it was good. It felt good spending time with family. And yeah, although it sort of interrupted our schedule, but Ganesh is a big festival here in Goa. A lot of fun, a lot of food, and a lot of family time. So it was great.
Let's talk about football. And like I said, we've had three game weeks of football to cover, and we're going to try and do that as quickly as possible. Starting with game week 4, scraping through a win there, Chelsea versus Leicester. Do you think you'll scrape through? You'll got a red card in the end. Leicester not performing that well, but you'll 1-2-1. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, with 10 men, I think it was an amazing performance. Yeah, I think Gallagher was sent off somewhere in the 25 or 27 minute,
Yeah.
and to win from there 10 men to 1. I thought that towards the end we could have, drawn or even lost the game because Leicester was really pushing hard. But great, great win, man. Much needed win for us. Uh, oh, it was a similar story with you guys also. Yeah, I mean. You all scored and then Fulham equalized and then that was a howler, right, from Gabriel. Was it an own goal, if I remember?
Yeah, I think again Fulham testing us, and these are type of games. I'm not just saying Fulham, but these are type of games Arsenal in the last season would have lost or would have drawn and dropped points, around, because these are the teams that you expect a top six team to defeat no matter what. And I think they showed quite a good resilience to go kind of go and win that game. Um, Again, if I have to look at most of the goals that Arsenal have conceded, right up to game week 4, they're all from personal errors. I think that's
Yeah.
something that is going to come to cost Arsenal a bit, as we continue. But yeah, happy that we won, and that at that point in time it was 4 on the bounce. So you couldn't have asked for more. And speaking about wins and narrow wins, Manchester United continued their form after playing Liverpool at home and winning comfortably. They go away to Southampton and win it 0-1. A lot of people will say, I mean, non-United fans will say that they scraped through. It's just one goal. Luck was on their side. But I think you know that when you play football, sometimes you got to take what you get. The wins, you got to take it
Yeah.
however they come, and they managed to do that, going away and showing that discipline and winning at Southampton, which is not an easy place to go to.
Yeah, no, agreed. And also I think they've broken their streak of losing away. So, that win actually was very important to them because I think after a lot of games, I don't remember the number either, after a few years, after a lot of games, they won an away game. Again, coming back to what you were talking about, Arsenal, these are the games United would have lost last year.
Yeah.
But no, no, good win, man. I think deserving win.
Before we go to Man City's game, Brighton continuing a good start to the season with a 1-0 lead over a 1-0 win, sorry, over Leeds. Again, pushing and putting pressure on the rest of the teams around them. But Man City really showed what class they are and winning the game 4-2 versus Crystal Palace, who looked at one point of time going to steal the show for a bit.
Yeah, they were 2-0 going into halftime, and then the man, come in the man, what come in the R, come in the man. Haaland, man, Hattrick, first Hattrick in the Premier League just in the fourth game. What a brilliant game, man. Amazing.
Yeah, crazy to kind of score that hat trick, especially from a situation like that where you're 2-0 down to and not only score a hat trick, and if somebody has to read this result 5-10 years down the line, they would not even know what that match was about. Yeah.
Exactly.
But this is
Yeah.
what Man City can do, and they have proven to have done it. So that's crazy result for them, and I think, but all the highlights of that day went to just one match, the joint highest score in a Premier League match. Liverpool versus Bournemouth 9-0. Bournemouth are not having a good season at all.
No, in fact, yeah, I mean that was a horrible performance, and considering 9 goals in the game is never good, right? And then soon after that, Scott Parker got sacked,
Yeah.
and they have been putting on good performances after that, which we will come to in a few minutes here. So yeah, 9 goals. Liverpool at home, they were struggling, so it was a good result for them. So moving on to the next game week, I think after those exciting games in game week 4, we had Arsenal was playing Aston Villa, and yeah, again a pretty close game there. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, again, a home game playing versus Aston Villa, a side that's struggling. Steven Gerrard, not really having the best time of his life at Villa yet. But they like again, this is good. Takes me back to previous seasons. Where you would find teams that were bottom of the league, not doing well, coming to Arsenal, pestering Arsenal, getting a win, getting a draw, and going back home. It reminded me of one of those type of fixtures. And when Arsenal conceded that goal, you almost had that, oh, here we go again kind of a moment, because we've seen that with Fulham. But what we've seen very well in the first 5 games so far is that Arsenal have the ability to bounce back, and they don't let their heads drop, and that was very well evident in that match versus Villa. And it was a good match, football, and I was quite excited and happy that Arsenal won. And again, it was match day 5, winning 5 games in a row without losing since 2004. That was a good statement to start the year with, the Premier League calendar, and completing the month of August, without losing a single match. So it was a good run. It was a good end to the month of August.
Then Chelsea was playing Southampton, and I don't know what went wrong there, man. We scored the first goal, and then we ended up losing that game.
Yeah.
Did you manage to watch that game?
I watched bits and parts of the game. I couldn't really foul Chelsea not doing. I mean, when you see Chelsea, and you know Chelsea for the last decade, you don't expect them to lose a game like this. But if you watch the match, you don't feel like they did anything explicitly wrong to lose the game either. It's just that it was so well contested, and Southampton have that in them. They are known to create these upsets over the last few years. You've seen that with different teams, and Chelsea have been a little inconsistent this season. I think the nerves are settling in a bit. Things will come into place with the signings that you've got. And for those of you, check out our review of the transfer window. The link will be somewhere up here. Go and check it out. And we've rated how Chelsea have done in this transfer window, and those transfers are going to make an impact on the way Chelsea plays.
Yeah, and then we had the other game, City 6-0 at home to Forest. I don't think any surprise there, right?
Yeah, I think we predicted this at the start of the season. Forest going to be the similar kind of pathway as Bournemouth, also kind of suffering there. But interestingly, Bournemouth, after sacking their manager in this game week, managed to pull up a draw with Wolves, and get a point. But yeah, Forest, Man City, come on. I mean, uh, 6-0 is, I think, a good scoreline, you would say, given the circumstances.
Yes, there was a second hat trick in 4 days. I think it's a record in the Premier League. Yeah, two back-to-back hat tricks in 2 games.
Yeah.
That man's on fire. All right, Liverpool versus Newcastle. This was an interesting game. I don't know if you watched it, but it went right down till the last kick, man.
Yeah, so Liverpool have not looked the same. We've seen that. We've discussed it. They're not what Liverpool were last year. What that means, we don't know yet. Is it the players? Is it fatigue? They've been performing at the top. Like, mind you, the same bunch of players have been performing at the
Yeah,
top level for the last 4 years.
oh, yeah,
They are
quite
going
long.
to get exhausted. There's that much amount of mental and physical strength that you can have, and every year seems to get more challenging.
And then Manchester United away at Leicester, and guess what? They win again 1-0.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised of this win, given the way Leicester has been performing, the morale and the mood around the camp. There's statements coming out from the manager saying that all these years the management has supported me. Now it's my turn to support the management, and he was clearly referencing his inability to buy during this window. They've got a good manager. They've still got good players in Madison, Vardy, Tielemans there. So they still have good players, but the mood is not the same there,
Yeah.
and it's going to be tough. So I wouldn't say I'm surprised that they lost, and it was a 1-0 victory to Manchester United, but that was three on the bounce now for Manchester United and two away, back-to-back away games winning. That's really boosted Manchester United confidence, and you can see all the supporters coming out of the shadows suddenly.
Oh,
And I think, yeah, that covers up game week 5, and the dream run for Arsenal ends at game week 6. So I think we should start off with that. Manchester United winning 3 goals to 1. I think the scoreline shows a more emphatic win than the match was. I wouldn't say that Arsenal played bad, but at the end of the day, it's a results business, and Arsenal didn't get that result. The big test for Arsenal after the first 5 games, a top 6 contender, and we were not there for the fight. And Manchester United, hats off to them. They did well, and I have to give them praise. I've been criticizing them the whole season so far, and even last season, but they did well. They didn't put a foot wrong. They've got their tactics right. And if you observe the 3 goals, you can see what a difference it is made to having that strong backbone. What we talk about. If you see right at the center, of course they got the Gea, as a goalkeeper. Right in front of them, he's got Martinez and Varane. In front of them, you've got Ericsson. In front of him, you've got Bruno Fernandes. That's how all the attacks have come through. Is from Christian Eriksen to Fernandes to Rashford
Rashford.
or Anthony, and that's how the goals have been scored. You look at all three, and this is the supply chain that you require in a football match, and that's why that position, where that Casemiro is going to be occupying, Ericsson's occupying, Fernandes is occupying, because they are the ones who are
Very
actually
important.
creating those opportunities and executed it well, exploited Arsenal's weakness of a high defense line. And you see again, all of those goals have been due to the high defense line that Arsenal maintains, and they were able to just run around them and get them. There were few balls that came into Ronaldo, Rashford, which could have been goals as well, again with that high press that United were having. But it's disappointing. I mean, the stat was that the last time Arsenal played Man United in their 6th game, where they were unbeaten, they went on to win the league undefeated. So every Arsenal was with their fingers crossed, hoping that it could be a repeat and bragging rights. But we know what Old Trafford has been. You can see the records.
Meant to
We've
be.
won
Yeah.
less than 19% of our games at Old Trafford across the years where we were even good. So no surprise there.
Yeah, but no, I think the only thing I'll add is I don't think Aston played really bad, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I think there were quite a lot of chances where Arsenal could have scored and didn't probably capitalize. But good game to watch, yeah, very good game to watch. Good win for United, but I think Arsenal, yeah, I mean, they didn't play bad. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still a very good team. So, but this was a first big test, and they couldn't.
Yeah, I think it's worth to watch and see what happens in the next game week, and we'll cover that in a bit. So I
Yeah.
think that would really be a test of to see how they bounce back. And we've got some tough fixtures coming up, so I think a very interesting month of September and October.
Yeah, yeah. I think in 4 weeks, not the next two, obviously. After that, you're playing three top teams, right? You're playing Spurs, you're playing City, and I think Liverpool. I think that's
Yeah.
what you're. their
Yeah,
schedule looks
I think
like.
1st of October is the derby match with Tottenham, so it's not getting easy right now, and we'll just have
Yeah.
to take each game as it comes and see what's the result. But moving on to a very interesting game was Brighton versus Leicester City. Leicester managing to score 2 goals, but yet not able to win because Brighton scored 5 goals. What a match that was. I watched the highlights, and Brighton, again, as we said earlier, is really gunning for the top four position. They want to prove that they are there. They're not to be taken lightly, and pushing up the agenda. I think their goal would definitely be to be in a Europa or a Conference League finish for them at the end of this season, and that's why you can see them pushing, because they feel that they can occupy that space with Leicester dropping off, Newcastle being very inconsistent, West Ham being inconsistent. So they find that they can be in that space, in the top six, top seven. But what a match and what a scoreline for them.
Yeah, Brighton really, really doing well. And the thing what I've seen, no, what I've noticed is, see, with Brighton, there's no like, there's no noise around the club. What
Yeah,
I mean is, it's not like there are players having fight with each other or the manager is pissed at some player. It's very peaceful, man. They feel like a proper team, I would say. Although you have
yeah,
the, but then you have an Oba who is coming late to training. You have a Maguire who has a fight in the dressing room. You have Ronaldo who is throwing fits on the training ground.
yeah.
You don't hear those sort of things from Brighton. It
Correct.
just feels like that club is really at peace. They're doing the business on the pitch, and Graham Potter is getting everything right. So great, great for
I
them.
think you've got a fantastic manager there. You have, I mean, that's a good mention from you. I think it all goes from the manager being able to have, with the limited resources, producing the results. So that's great work. And then we had the Merseyside derby, a very big match in terms of EPL history. I think one of the, you can say, the most original derbies in the Premier League. Everton versus Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool going away to play at Everton, and a draw match. I don't know what to make of it. Everton have not really succeeded in the last few derbies versus Liverpool, but I would say they would take this as a win almost.
Yeah, especially the way they've been playing. They have not won a single game. There were even talks of Lampard getting sacked. So, like how Liverpool has given boost to Manchester United, I think they have done the same for Everton. I hope
Everton.
so. I mean, we all love Frank Lampard, don't we, as Chelsea fans? So, it would have been sad to see him sacked this early in the season,
Yeah.
although sacked him. But yeah, Liverpool, we've spoken about this in our transfer video as well, guys. Do watch that video. We don't know what's going wrong there, right? And hats off to Everton, man. Hats off to Everton. They almost scored the winner. Cody
Yeah.
was just slightly offside, but great entertaining game.
Yeah, true. Wrapping up a few of the other games, Brentford also scoring 5 goals to Leeds, and I think I love that team, especially with Ivan Toney and that tweet, mocking everyone who's removed him from the FPL team. A great story there with Brentford. They recently promoted last year, did well to stay up. Not just stay up, they did well. They're doing
Really
well
well.
this year. Bournemouth have had a win. That too away. They went away to Forest again, a great team with good history, but they
They were
lost out to
trailing two
Bournemouth.
zero. They were
Yeah,
trailing 2-0 at halftime.
yeah, and then coming back to win three.
Two.
I think a match after their coach was fired.
Sacked.
It was nice. It was good to see that Tottenham won again at Fulham 2-1. Chelsea won at West Ham 2 goals to one.
At
Um,
home, that was at home. Yeah.
yeah, I was at home, and I think one of the most surprise events of the day was Aston Villa drawing Man City 1-1. A
Oh,
big boost to Gerrard, I would say.
yeah. They also were not having a good run, right? I mean, I think they lost to you guys, and they lost some other game also. I think they were losing quite a few games, but drawing to City at home. What a beautiful goal from Bailey, man. Very nice game. Good for the team. Good for Steven Gerrard.
Yeah,
Good. I mean, so much competition, man.
yeah,
Yeah, City has already drawn 2 games, so so many points dropped there. And on the day when Liverpool dropped points, and that Arsenal was having a tough fixture, with Manchester United. I think this was a game they could have capitalized, but
yeah.
it was
I think it's a played advantage to Chelsea. It's played advantage to Tottenham to and United, obviously, to catch up with the top of the league table. Arsenal, I think, blew a big chance to get a really big push and lead on the top of the table. But at the end of game week 6, we are still on top of the table. And let's see what we have in store for game week 7. All right, and that brings a wrap to a three. I mean, you can't even call it 3 weeks. It was basically 1.5 week of the football smashed in together.
yeah.
I mean,
First set of midweek fixtures in game week 5. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, how can it's 15 games in what
and
7
then 8
days?
days. Yeah.
That's too much of football to even talk about. But
No, man, football is never too
yeah,
much.
football's fun, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is that you want to talk about each and every game, but you want to have your episode as tight and concise as possible. And we really can't even. We're so excited to talk about almost every football team and every football.
I swear.
And trust me, guys, we record this thing for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and we try to cut it down as much as possible so it makes sense for all of you. But thanks everyone for supporting us and following us. Congratulations to United fans. I have to say this as an Arsenal fan, well deserved, especially to one of our biggest supporters, Donville, who messaged me, who loves our podcast, keeps supporting us. So thank you, Donville. Congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
win. And I do hope that that's the end of the United run. To be honest, I wouldn't wish that you'll do well more than that, but yeah, I have to wish everyone. Of course, Vijay, there was a request for you to come back with the FPL tips. So catch our next episode where we're going to talk about Champions League, which is finally starting, talking about game week 7 in the Premier League, and we'll bring back the FPL tips with Vijay. So catch you all in the next episode. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, Vijay, for joining today.
Thank you, Ali. And yeah, I'll see you on the next episode, man. Thank you, guys, and
What?
take care.
What? 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 What?